Today's letter is the letter G. G is for green apple. So today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little green apple with coloring pencils. This is an easy beginner drawing lesson for kids of all ages. So let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Alphabet Soup, we choose a letter from the alphabet and we draw food that starts with that letter. So let's draw. This is what you'll need for today's drawing lesson. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have my dollar store drawing pad out here. It's 8.5 by 11 inches wide. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser. I use a little paintbrush that I've never used to paint with to help me dust off my page from eraser marks and from dust. I also have my fine tip black marker that I like to use for outlining. I have a black Sharpie as well that I'm going to use for coloring in the eyes. And we need some color. I have a brown color for the stem of the apple. And I have 3 shades of green. I have a dark green, a medium green, and a light green. Now, if you don't have 3 shades of green, that's perfectly fine. You can use 1 shade. If you have 2, you can use 2 because we want to maybe put a darker green into the apple's leaf, and the apple itself we want to be a little bit lighter. But like I said, if you only have 1 color of green, that'll do just fine. So why don't we clear off the space here and we can begin. First, let's write out the word green apple because G is for green apple. So let's draw a capital G and a small g. All right, let's write the word green. That'll be a capital G, R, E, E, N, and let's write out apple. So we'll put a capital A, P, another P, L, and an E. Green apple. Okay, let's begin by drawing our apple. Now, when I see green apples, they always look a little skinnier than the red ones. So I'm going to draw this one a little skinny today. So I'm just drawing kind of an oval. There we go. Just like that. Very, very easy. And we can draw a stem. It's almost like a rectangle with a little curve to it. And a leaf. That's our basic apple. That's the shape of our apple. So why don't we give him, he's a he today, we'll give him some big oval eyes. And inside for his pupil, we'll put another oval here. And we'll give him a smile and we'll do a little detail after. But why don't we start with our lightest green color, and we're going to color in the entire apple except for the eyes, okay? Now, if you're using coloring pencils, I want you to press down very lightly. You don't have to press down hard at all. And turn your pencil once in a while so you don't wear it all down on one side. Okay? I'm just going to be careful not to get any green into the eyes. And I'm turning my pencil. You might notice I'm kind of holding it on the side. I like to color in on the side of the pencil. But in that case, you have to really make sure you turn your pencil. But when you hold it like the way I'm holding it on the side here, it kind of forces you not to press down too hard. Because sometimes we think we have to press down really hard with coloring pencils to get the color that we want, but we don't have to, and I'll show you why in just a moment. I'm just going to fill in the whole apple. I'm turning my pencil and I'm being careful around the eyes. But if you get some green into the eyes, don't even worry about it. It's no big deal. We're just having fun today. I don't want you to worry about being perfect, because perfect is boring. I think so anyway. I got a little green into the eye, but that's all right. So now I'm going to color the whole apple in a second time, and that's called adding a second layer of color. And I'm really not pressing down hard at all. The more layers you add, the more color you get. And you see, 1 layer, 2 layers. I think 2 layers looks so much nicer. It's such a nicer green color, isn't it? And this really does look like the color of the apples. You know those green apples? They're a little more sour, I think, than the red apples, but they're nice and crunchy. Not sour, I think the word is tart. Don't forget to turn your pencil as we add a second layer of color to our green apple. Being careful around the eyes here. Isn't that a nice green? I love this green. What's it called? It's called spring green. I have a lot of coloring pencils, lots and lots of colors. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it in a 3rd time. And do you know what that means? I'm adding a 3rd layer of green. I really want this green to stand out and pop. And I'll leave it up to you how many layers you want to add. When you're happy with the color that you have, then you can stop. But always remember to turn your pencil as you're adding more and more layers. Here we go. I think that looks pretty neat. So now I'm taking my medium green. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but I just like to add a little bit of shading. Just a little bit to the side of the apple. Just to make it a little interesting. Just on both sides, adding a little bit of shading. Like I said, you don't have to do this part, but you could try it if you want. There, that's all I'm doing with that one. Now I'm going to take my dark green and I'm going to fill in the leaf. And if you have a dark green, you can use it. If you don't, you can use the same green, okay? Like I said, you don't need to have 3 different colors of green. I just have them, so I wanted to use them. And I'm going to add a 2nd layer of the dark green as well. And it really makes a difference in the darkness of the green, doesn't it? I mean, you can see that. 1 layer, 2 layers. That looks really nice. Okay. So now I'm going to take that brown color and just fill in the stem. The stem, probably do 2 layers, coloring it in 2 times. That is very easy. Okay, so now I'm going to outline. I've got my fine tip black marker, and everywhere that I drew in pencil, I am outlining with my marker. Now this is optional, you don't have to do this, but I personally think it looks really, really nice when you outline with black marker. And if you don't have a black marker, you could always use a black coloring pencil if you want to outline. I'm just being careful not to go outside the line if I can, which I just did. But you know, if you do that, you can always take your color and add it, and no one will know the difference. So now I'm going to outline the eyes and those pupils also. And to color in the eyes, I'm going to use my black Sharpie just because it's a thicker tip and it's easier. I used to use my little fine liner to fill in the eyes, but I found that it took up a lot of the ink. And it was, it didn't look, you know, it didn't look as vibrant as when I used the really dark Sharpie. So I use the Sharpie from now on when I color in the eyes. So now let's add some detail. First on the leaf, let's just draw a line right in the middle, just like that. And we're going to give this apple a big smile. Okay? And we're going to give him some cheeks. And the way you do that is you put semicircles at the end of the smile, and it makes it look like he's got two cheeks. And we can give him some eyebrows. He's a happy green apple. And that's it, my friends. That's our little green apple. What do you think? How did yours turn out? Did you enjoy yourself? I hope you did. Now don't forget to sign your work. I want you to take ownership of the beautiful work of art that you just created. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends. We'll see you next time on Rain Francis Art for Kids. Thanks for watching. Bye.